The Milwaukee Film Festival hosts world-class cinema for 2 weeks around the city. This year, the festival has a special connection with one of Marquette's own. I sat down with the Diederich College of Communication's Danielle Beverly, who shared her experience and involvement with the documentary As Goes Janesville, which premieres right here at the festival.
As Goes Janesville is a documentary. It's an observational documentary that looks at the town of Janesville, Wisconsin, which, you know, I'd never heard of Janesville, Wisconsin, but they had been completely pretty much defined by this General Motors plant. Most of the town was employed by it. All of the sort of services in the town were also supporting the workers of that town. And so when that General Motors plant closed, it meant that many people were going to be out of work. Now this happens at, I think we started filming maybe 2008. That's right when the whole collapse of, you know, the banks happened. I mean, it was the economic crisis it was that moment.
And with that moment came a series of events that would create a compelling story. Beverly describes how different pieces came together in the documentary and how director Brad Lichtenstein faced the challenge of portraying a balanced account of the town.
You've got people who are out of work. You've got people who are trying to spur business and who have wealth and are trying to create more wealth for the town. And then you have the politicians, Tim Cullen, who's on the Democratic side, and Paul Ryan, who's on the Republican side. So they're looking at people, politics, and business. I think Brad, the director, walked that line very well. He really did look at both sides, try to get both he got the full picture, I think, or as best he could. And so that's a logistical thing as well, making sure that you have the trust of one side and have the trust of the other side so that you can hopefully show them in their fullest picture.
As a camera person, Beverly faced a number of issues throughout the production, one of which was filming in harsh Wisconsin winters.
Logistical challenges, well, one of which was my camera froze. It had never shot anything in the winter in Wisconsin, and it froze. And I was working as a one-person crew, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I was really struggling. So weather is a huge challenge when you're making documentaries. My fingers also froze. I had to start wearing 2-3 pairs of gloves. It's really hard to operate a camera. That may not sound important, but if you're waiting for this moment, like to capture it, you're at their mercy. You're also at the mercy of the weather. We were shooting in the dead of winter, and I had to jump in the car, warm up the camera, warm up my fingers, and also make sure that I didn't miss the shot.
In telling the story of Janesville through her camera lens, Beverly felt a real connection with the people she followed.
I'm from the Gary, Indiana area, and that is also an area, a town, that was completely born and then died when the steel industry, which is related to the car industry, went away. And so that town is still trying to reinvent itself and has not been very successful. So I really understood what having grown up around it, what it is like to have everyone be employed by one industry and then have that industry go away. And I knew that that was going to be a really interesting and important story to follow.
As Goes Janesville premieres at the Milwaukee Film Festival on Saturday, October 6th, with a fundraising event following. More information and tickets can be found at mkefilm.org. Reporting from the Oriental Theater on Milwaukee's East Side, Victor Jacobo, Student Media Interactive.